Hello, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about the mindset of top performing professionals so that they can make more commission and close more deals in 2024. My name is Caleb Lassar. I'm a sales coach. I've been in this industry for 7 years. My clients have sold millions of dollars, made hundreds of thousands of dollars in commissions. And I put together this channel to help people like you, whether you're at the start of your sales journey, you're somewhat of an intermediate, or you're a pro. There's definitely something that everyone can learn. So let's talk about number one, the first thing is high performing salespeople are more into people, or they treat the other humans like people rather than prospects. So what does this mean? It means that they're not overly attached to the deal. They're not super hyper focused on, is this going to be the sale that makes my commission? Are you just another number? They're actually curious about the person in front of us, and they treat this person like a human. So if you saw our last video, you would notice that we don't talk about handling the partner objection, because we think about, if this is a human and I'm in their spot and I had a partner and I wanted to talk to my partner, is that actually an objection, or is that just something that would be nice for me to do? And so this is what we mean by treating people like people and not prospects, is we have a degree of empathy, understanding, and connection towards our fellow human so that we can better figure out what do they actually want. Which brings us to the second thing that high performance salespeople do, is they have an attitude of curiosity. So what that means is anything the prospect says, they get curious about. There's no assumptions being made about, did they mean that? Did they mean this? They're actually curious. They are more into the person that they're with, and they're thinking about, what's going on for that person, than they are themselves. And so a good example of this is, if you look at your sales calls at the moment, how much is you talking versus how much are they talking? And this will be a dead giveaway. I was reviewing a sales call for a client the other day. There was 15 minutes of questions being asked and 45 minutes of pitching being done. And this is how you can know that maybe the ratio is slightly off. It doesn't mean that you can't pitch or you can't share details. You want to get that ratio closer to 50-50, where you're asking a lot of questions to get clarity about what's actually going on for the person. And then they're responding to that, which is versus the whole which brings us to the third point, is convincing versus connecting. And so the other thing that the top performance salespeople do is they're curious and they focus on connecting and inviting the person to a solution to a problem that they've discovered, rather than convincing them to buy something. And so this is a really key distinction. If the more we talk, what I want you to imagine is it creates this distance between us. So if I'm here and you're here, the more that you talk, the further I go away, because I will buy off you when I feel like you understand what's going on for me. But if you keep talking, you've never given me the opportunity to understand or to convey to you what's actually going on. So these high performance salespeople that I work with, they focus on the connection, the curiosity, and the investigation. They're asking a bunch of questions to best figure out what is the prospect's actual problem. They're not spending all of their time talking and convincing people to buy from them. They're thinking about, what are the questions that I'm going to ask? Or what did they mean by that? They said that thing. That was interesting. Can they expand on that? So the fourth one is they have a frame or a persona or an attitude of being the consultant and not the hustler. So here's what I mean by this. The consultant, they're not trying to convince anyone. The consultant is simply this person who is super curious. It understands there's another human in front of them, and they're trying to figure out what's going on. What brought you to this call? What is it that's happening in your world right now that has meant that you picked up the phone, or you watched the webinar, or you did something that meant that you booked in to come see us? What is going on for you? What are the symptoms? It's almost like how a doctor would consult with a patient. And I think the metaphor here that's really powerful is doctors that don't consult and give medicine without the consultation, it would be considered malpractice. And this is what I want you to think about in the sales conversation. If you are trying to prescribe solutions of products that you have without actually getting clear on what is going on, what are their symptoms, it should be considered malpractice, right? Mal sales practice. And so your job in this whole mindset is to be the one of the consultant. You're not chasing. You're not convincing. You're not trying to close for the sake of closing. You're not attached to the sale. You are this person who is asking questions of your fellow human to figure out what the symptoms are so that you can prescribe a solution. I trust this was valuable. I hope you loved it. If you loved this video, there'll be another one linked here that'll be talking about the most powerful questioning technique that we can use in order to get more out of our prospects so that we can close more deals. We'll see you in the next one.